Welcome back to another episode of Manga Talk, where I talk to you about manga that you may or may not have heard about before and give you my opinion on it. Again, this is my opinion, not a review. So if you don't like my opinion, hit that dislike button. If you did like my opinion, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my commentary on manga or other random shit, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to be one to judge. So, what else is there? Oh yeah, leave a comment down below whether or not you liked my video or disliked it. And your opinions on the manga I'm going to talk about. So, without further ado, I need to go talk about a lad. Specifically, one lad in particular. That would be, quite simply, if you've read the title, then you know it. That would be Blood Lad. This one is pretty interesting. I randomly picked it up because I remember watching the anime, which should have been fucking longer than 10 episodes, but, it is what it is. But, yeah, this one was very good. I recommend it, but we'll get into that a little bit later. First, let's talk about some facts. The facts being that it was written and illustrated by Yuki Kamada. And it was published in the magazine of Young Ace for the demographic of Seinen. At some point in the future, I'll have to explain what those demographics and other words mean, but that's a later video. Anyways, the original run of the manga was in September of 2009, and it went into September of 2016. So it's relatively recently completed within the last 4 years, and it was compiled. The 85 chapters were compiled into 17 volumes, but I do not have the separate 17 volumes. I have the 9 omnibuses that were printed after the full story was released. Though, slight thing about that is that the 9 volumes are actually the first 8 are the 2 different omnibuses because it was an odd number, except volume number 9 is on its own, which is also a slightly different price than the other ones, which is the 1 through 8 omnibuses are $20, but volume number 9 of it is only $13. So keep in mind of that when you go out and buy it. Granted, you may be able to buy this for more or less depending on where you go. But yeah. Then that's it for the facts. Let's get into a bit of the story. The story of Blood Lad is kind of interesting and very funny. You have Stan's Charlie Blood, who is a vampire that lives in the demon world. He is not your typical vampire in the fact that he's a fucking otaku. Man, those guys are weird. He's an otaku, he plays video games, he reads manga, and he controls part of the demon world. And he's just living his life, doing his things. Mostly just not doing shit besides playing video games. Until one day, a human girl, whose name is Fuyumi Yagani. I fuck up mispronounced names. But she enters the demon world, and Stans is like, fuck yes, I want to drink your blood. Or am I attracted to you? I think it's a little bit of both, maybe. I don't know. Unfortunately, in the process of trying to figure it out, she kind of dies. But in the demon world, when a human dies, they come back as a ghost. So, he essentially is like, fuck, I didn't want that. Fuck, well, I guess I'll go try and figure out to bring you back to life. And the whole story is essentially Stan's trying to bring Fuyumi back to life. And they meet other characters on the way. There's a lot of references to anime and manga. and other shit. And you meet other characters, the other main characters, which is like Belle or Hydra Belle, or Belle for short. She is a treasure hunter that teleports and stuff and is looking for her black curtain, which allows her to go across dimensions and stuff. Then you meet Wolf at another point, which is sort of he's a lycanthrope, and he is able to transform into a werewolf, but only for 3 minutes because of reasons. Yeah, it's essentially that these 4 characters are just trying to follow along, trying to get Fuyumi's body back to being a human, and hilarity ensues. But also, it's hard to explain. It's also been a hot minute since I've read this, and I really should, at some point, read all the manga that I have before, doing these videos. It's not like the other series that I have here, which I've read, and it's still coming out. This one I finished like several years ago, about, 3 years ago at this point. And I haven't read it since because I didn't have time. But I do remember good points about it. It is... I do remember it's funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I should definitely up my game about this. It's funny in the way that it's different than most. Like, sure, there's a lot of references and such, but there's also times where... within the first, I guess, technically second volume because of the omnibuses, when you meet up with Wolf and Stans, it's just like, hey, reasons, we're gonna fight out, instead of like fighting out where you would usually think like a normal protagonist is, they have a fucking boxing match. And it's, I didn't realize that you could have it, but yeah, there's a boxing match in it. And, yeah. I still don't understand why they have that. Why did they do a boxing match? There's a reason. I forget the reason. I just remember there was a boxing match. But, yeah, it definitely is, better, than most situations where it's like, yeah, it's funny, and I remember laughing, and there are points where you actually feel genuine about the different characters. Like, sure, there's comedy in it, yes, but certain characters you grow, like Stans and Fuyumi, you slowly realize that Stans throughout it actually does have feelings for Fuyumi, just other than trying to suck her blood. And it grows. I like it. I like that part. But then you, like, yes, the main plot is getting Fuyumi's body back, but at the same time, other things are going on, like in the demon world, like other plots are happening, and they just happen to be being caught up in it because of reasons, and something dealing with Fuyumi herself, and the fact that she drinks Stans's blood to sort of make sure that she doesn't move on. Yeah, that's a thing that I just remembered, man. Yeah, so there's a plot point on that, but I don't remember the whole details of it off the top of my head. I did like it. At some point, I would love to reread it. I just don't have time, and I have a lot of other manga to read. Yeah, but certain fight scenes within it are pretty good. And then also, I think I heard that most people, I think some people commented on the fact that the art looks somewhat similar to like Soul Eater's art, or I guess the mangaka of Soul Eater and Fire Force type deal, that they look somewhat similar in situations. But what's a good one? What is a good panel to show? I had one in mind, and then I forgot which one I had in mind. This happens all the time. if you watched my fucking well, damn. Well, there was a good panel, but I forgot. Fuck. Was it earlier on? Oh. Yeah. This one. I mean, Stans is not like a good guy. He will freaking crush someone's heart because of why not. He is a vampire. And he is out there to protect his turf. But also, you know, at all costs, try to get Fuyumi's body back. Yeah. That took longer to find that page than I thought. I should really fucking write down the page before I start these videos. But maybe I will, you know, 500 or 700 volumes later. Why don't I ever remember to write that shit down? And I'm not going to re-record this. No. But it was good. I don't know what else to say about it. It was good. I liked it. There's definitely some high points. There are some low points. I wouldn't say anything came out like out of left field. Like there was no, oh wow, what? Like when you meet the other characters, they are introduced pretty. I don't think you meet anyone that's unorganically introduced for the most part. Like there are reasons that they show up. There are reasons that they're there, and yeah. Yeah, for the most part, I do believe that it was pretty solidly put into motion, and I did like the plot points, though at the end it was a little bit like, what is happening? But I don't think it fell apart. That's the main thing that I think that it stuck the landing for the most part. It got a little weird, but I think it fits well with how the world was set up, type deal. So it wasn't out of left field, and I think, if I remember, there was there was a bit of foreshadowing at the beginning, now thinking about it. So, it's solid. I wouldn't say that it's the greatest of all time. And you don't really have it to the point where it's like, oh man, you need to read it. But I will say that if you liked, if you like some comedy reading in your action, like most fucking shonen, go ahead, pick it up. It's, again, if you are able to find the omnibuses, there's only 9 of them, which I guess is cheaper than, you know, buying the separate volumes, which I guess because it's it was printed by Yen Press. Yeah, Yen Press. I would guess that the individual volumes cost like $13, while granted the omnibuses cost $20 plus whatever your tax is, and the last one costs $13. I would say that it is probably cheaper just to go with the omnibuses. Not to mention, they all have the cool, like, colored, specific color on the spines, which definitely sticks out, especially because it's black, and then the lettering is just colored. Pretty good. And then also the different characters on the spines. Yeah, I should really talk about the spines more often. There's an art to a good spine, and I just like the simplicity of the black with the color of the cover on the spine itself. Yeah, pretty solid. But yeah. Should really talk about spines more often. I mean, I see them every single fucking day. You would think that I would do that. Later video, I will talk about the spines of of manga. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. If you liked me rambling on about Blood Lag, go ahead, hit that like button. If you disliked me rambling about Blood Lag because I didn't have a coherent thought, well, that's most of my stuff, so don't bother subscribing. But if you did like me, hit that subscribe button. You know, think about leaving a like on the video. I'm not forcing you. No one is. you are forcing yourself to hit that like button. And you are also compelled to, whether or not you hated this video, to leave a comment telling me why you hated it. I will leave a like and a thumbs up, and then also hit the heart button, because you at the very least hopefully gave me a good criticism. Yeah. There are more videos like this on my channel. Go ahead and check them out if you want. Yeah. Well, that's about it. I have to, after recording this, I have to go do taxes. Woo, being an adult fucking sucks. Anyways, hopefully you have a good day. Hopefully you have a nice week. And hopefully you stay safe out there. And, just read more fucking manga. That's really all you need in life. Don't go outside. Read manga.